it comes to Atlanta, we've always been the birthplace of that. Outkast beat that door down for us. Having leaders like them allowed us to be who we are. Allowed us to say, I don't need you to give me a pat on the back. I don't need this person to stamp me to say that I'm dope.
Lo-fi isn't going anywhere and it's re-emerging. Let's talk about the root of hip hop. If you listen to lo-fi and you listen to boom bap, they sound the same.
Lo-fi hip hop is, I think they really honestly just gave a name to the same stuff that, B-hits have been making forever.
You tackle producers like Dilla, who is like the father of lo-fi, if you really, think about it.
They just coined it, and now it has a brand, and that's cool. But there was no lo-fi music when Dilla was making records, or Madlib, or Oh No, or any of these other cats that kind of really created this space.
I think that is something that is missing. In hip hop, we don't have that anymore. We've completely switched the sound. There's nothing wrong with it, but the sound is completely different. It's something that's missing, and for Atlanta to be a mecca for music now, I think it's only right that it's thriving the most here. My family's Caribbean, and my father's Guyanese and my mother is Jamaican. And so music was very big, reggae, calypso, R&B. So I graduated my master's in 2012. And I was 2 years here living in Atlanta. I hated it. I couldn't find my niche. And the music scene at the time was so trash. In Atlanta, it was very one lane, one channel, being that Atlanta is the mecca for like trap music, which there's nothing wrong with it. I felt like they just centered too much on one genre. And I heard it on the radio, I heard it in the clubs, and I was just like, there's so much more to this.
The 8 years that I've been here, there's always been a counterculture to what you see on TV and what you hear on the radio. There's always been an alternative.
There's so many genres that are undiscovered, especially because Atlanta was becoming the next melting pot. There's creatives like Controllerize, Work Crew. There's a lot of people in the city who are putting in that emphasis to make sure that there's diversity.
I decided to throw an all instrumental beat show. So I contacted all the producers that I knew, all my homies. I'm scrolling down my Facebook timeline and I see this guy going live making beats. So I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It was called Beats and Chill. It was a little radio show. It was like a live radio show. I would play like a mix of records and then make one from scratch with the people on the live stream.
So I click on it and I'm like, man, it would be so dope to have this guy like here in Atlanta. Jumped in this dude's inbox immediately. Was like, yo bro, I got this thing. I'm trying to create a weekly show, blah, blah, blah. What's up?
That got a lot of notoriety, man. And it also kind of, was the branch out, I guess, for the stuff that we're doing at Controllerize now.
We started at Slice on Piedmont right next to GSU, and it was a free event. Because it's free, anybody can pull up, anybody can walk in. Of course, you gotta be 21 to drink. It was right next to the college. So we always have foot traffic. People can just walk in, people can be themselves.
That's why I enjoy it so much. It's fun, it's chill, it's laid back, and I'm also immersed in talent.
One of the key differences is that's producer based. So a lot of events that happen in Atlanta are DJ based. Being that trap is the mecca of Atlanta, that's who people go after is trap producers, I'm sorry. There's producers that make all other types of music, and Controllerize kind of shines the spotlight on them.
The producers, they're not even DJs. They're producers. They're like bedroom producers, respectfully. They make beats at the crib. And outside of going live on Instagram or Facebook, they're really at the crib and they're just making beats on this SP404, whatever they choose, and they'll make creative videos, they'll set it to lo-fi. And it's a feeling, it's a mood. Most lo-fi producers, they may not have more than 2,000 followers, some less than 1,000, but their content is great, the beats are great, and it all fits this mood, this vibe that it's like, it's lo-fi, it's chill. So Controllerize we took that outside the bedroom, and we put that in a space where people can come and we can share that space.
we kind of took a couple different subcultures and smashed them together. So you had like a counterculture to popular music, like popular rap music, and that it was just producer based and it was based on beats, and it was more like lo-fi versus, you know, trap, like hip hop versus disco or whatever you want to call it, like mainstream versus underground. But it was a different sound. You have this huge anime presence. Like there's Anime Week in Atlanta, the MomoCon, Dragon Con. It's all these big like anime conventions. There's this big kind of like, you know, nerd community in the city. They're here in heavy concentrations. You know, skate culture, some street, you know, street fashion culture. All these things are here. And what Controlerize does is it kind of takes them all and puts them in one kind of place.
There's a lot of, especially Black people, that love that whole world that is comics and anime. And we don't really get that recognition or that space. Controlize is awesome in the sense that it gives that nerdy, awkward, quirky person that space to just go and be. You don't have to live up to some type of idea of what it is to be hip-hop or what it is to be an ATLian.
Controlize is the mob. It's not a group of just 5 guys who don't want anybody else to be a part. It's definitely family. And because of that, they are able to have presence in Japan. We have presence in Japan, in California, in Australia. We have people who are a part of Controlerize in all over the world. They might not be in Atlanta, and it's only growing.
That's what's next, I think, for us. You know, South by Southwest was a real big festival for sure. A3C, One Music Fest. So like, you're just gonna see more and more of that.